Good evening everyone, today we're going to be talking about the NGS headline because yes, we are going to Le Ciel. But before we jump into all of that, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So the very first thing I want to talk about is, yes, we are getting chapter 5 of the story on April 5th. Now we will not get access to the Slayer class until April 12th, which is going to be a week after the chapter 5 release, but nevertheless you'll still be able to farm for gunblade weapons, which is really awesome. However, first of all, we need to talk about the story. So chapter 5 is coming in, Manon suddenly disappears from Central City, you don't know where she went, and then there's a nice little trailer showing that she's actually up at La Ciel, which means the sky in French by the way, and she's talking to this unknown figure saying that she's going to defeat that person and stop this entire experiment. So I can't wait to find out what on earth is going on. I'm gonna laugh so hard if it actually is Luther. You know, that'd just be the funniest thing ever, where Luther is like, oh yeah, you know, 1,000 years, I totally survived that by cryo freeze or something, or transferring my mind into another object, or some crazy story like that. I can't wait to see what on earth chapter 5 entails, so I'm super excited for that. However, with the introduction of chapter 5, there are going to be several changes to our weeklies as well as our dailies. Now they did release this information like 2 days ago, however I didn't feel like I had the big picture yet, which is why I didn't cover it. However, now I see things a little bit more clearly, so we're going to talk about it. So the current formula, or whatever's live on the servers right now, is you basically did your weeklies for Meseta and you did your dailies for EXP, and it's always been like that for the past almost 2 years. However, they're changing the model now where you actually get the majority of your Meseta by doing your dailies. So you get more Meseta every day, and it encourages you to do your dailies, while your weeklies are going to be slightly less important, but nevertheless the rewards in total, it's about a 50% increase in your Meseta gains per week, which is freaking awesome. So you used to make about 800,000 Meseta by just doing your weeklies. However, now you're going to end up making about 1.1 million per week as long as you do your dailies as well as the weeklies, which is freaking awesome because more money to go around. And on top of that, we actually get rewarded 10 star gens every single week for completing 25 daily tasks, so that's a nice little cherry on top. However, they did do some changes on the base game, but we're going to cover that in a separate video. Now, another big change is they have significantly increased the amount of EXP you get from the Leah May task. It's actually like 4 times more EXP, so there's a huge incentive to do the Leah May task if you are planning to level up your luster extremely quickly. Now, you could just spam the yellow triggers. That is a very fast way to level up. However, if you don't have access to a bunch of yellow triggers, or you're just simply bored of it and you want to kill multiple birds with one stone, you can always pick up a bunch of Leah May tasks, just go out questing, complete all of that, and you'll also level up extremely quickly. Now for my gear fanatics out there, don't worry, we are getting potential level 5 for our 7 and 8 star rarities starting from April 5th. However, after only having to wait 2 weeks, we're actually going to get potential level 6 as well. So that is going to be massive, especially for our weapons, because weapon potentials play a huge part in our overall DPS. So I'm super excited and I can't wait to be able to finally upgrade my gear and get even stronger. Now another change that they're adding in that I'm very grateful of is that they're actually adding in HP bars for the ordinal tower, geometric labyrinth, as well as purple triggers, which is freaking awesome because now you can actually see how much damage you're dealing to the boss and if you're making good pace or not. And this is really good, especially for a lot of min-maxers, to see, hey, am I doing things efficiently? Are there things that I can improve? Or what phases of the boss specifically I can improve my time on in order to become a better player? However, it doesn't end there. They've also improved the way you can see critical hits. So now you can actually toggle to the second option. So when you get a critical hit, it'll flash bright orange, which is freaking amazing because you never knew if you critical hit or not before, simply because it just looked like regular damage numbers in white. However, it was just like a bigger number. So it was very difficult to see if you crit or not. However, now you can toggle it and change it. So whenever you do a crit, it's going to glow bright orange. So you know that's a critical hit. So this way you can gauge if your crit build is working or not a lot easier. Now they've also improved a ton of quality of life features. However, I'm not going to cover all of them in today's video because there's just way too many things to talk about. However, a few little tidbits is they've added a new mission pass storage where you can store up to 300 items. It's really cool because it's free. Basically, you get the mission pass. When you complete the mission pass, you get this little ticket which allows you to unlock this extra storage space, which you can put all your mission pass items in, and it's just extra storage for free, which is very, very nice. Now, some of you guys may remember earlier earlier in the video, I said that yes, you'll be able to farm for Gunblade weapons starting on April 5th, even though the Slayer class doesn't come out till April 12th. And this is because they are actually implementing the Gunblade Instructor on April 5th, as well as the Slayer Operation Preparation Ticket Exchange Shop on April 5th. So you'll be able to get all of your Gunblade stuff through there. However, they also drop from random enemies in combat zones and exploration zones, as well as urgent quests. So you will be able to farm up for specific weapons if you want. However, I think most people are probably just going to use the exchange shop, get a weapon there, and you're good to go. But maybe you want something specific, or you want a high fixa or something, then that is something that you guys can go for. Now, as for the second half of April, so this starts from April 19th onward, we actually get another seasonal event. It's going to be the NGS second anniversary event. So this is pretty big as well. Again, we can farm for special scratch tickets in order to get a lot of star gems if you want to. However, on top of that, you're going to want to farm these limited time quests because they drop a specific item called Photon Chunk 2A and Photon Chunk 2B. And these two items are needed to unlock your weapon potential from level 5 to level 6. In order to do so with an 8-star rarity weapon, you're going to need 60 Photon Chunk A's as well as 60 Photon Chunk B's. So you're going to want to farm this limited time quest over and over and over again, not only to get special scratch tickets, but also to farm for these materials so that you could unlock the weapon potential to level 6 and gain that huge surge of power. Now, in this new limited time quest, there is a new enemy, well, not really new, more like a revamped enemy called the Resplendent AMS. So this is basically like a souped up version of AMS. I think it's got like 1 or 2 new moves, but nevertheless, it's pretty cool. Again, it's got the whole disco ball thing. I believe we fought the dragon before. I think it was Nex Alio that also had some special effects before. This is basically the AMS version of it. Nevertheless, something new. I'm willing to try it out. But it doesn't end there. Also coming on April 19th is the new high difficulty quest Duel Quest. This is actually something that I'm super excited for because it is a one-on-one solo type of content where you have to fight against the bosses of each region. So you get to fight Nex Alio, Renus Ratem, AMS, as well as Nils Vera, or the giraffe looking thing. Now this is pretty awesome because there are rewards that are tied to your title. So there's no RNG involved with farming these bosses in hopes to get like a super rare drop or anything. It's the moment you beat it, you get a title which comes with a bunch of cosmetic rewards, which is very, very enticing for a lot of players. So if you're the type of player that really likes to flex and let everyone know, hey man, I beat this really difficult piece of content, you can now do so by challenging yourself with these duel quests. And on top of that, there are specific capsules that only work for duel quests but give absurd stats. A good example over here is the P01, which actually gives you 7% potency as well as increased photon gauge while attacking plus 30%. There's a ton of really, really powerful augments over here. There's actually one that gives critical strike, by the way. It gives 5% critical chance as well as 7% potency. So these are very, very powerful capsules. However, they only work in the duel quest. So they don't work anywhere else. So you're gonna need to re-augment or make a different set of armor if you are planning to do this type of content, because there are title rewards linked with just clearing it as well as getting an S rank. So if you are going for an S rank, it might become a necessity to make a specific armor set as well as weapon to defeat these guys, because they are essentially the urgent quest versions of the bosses. However, you have to do it solo, and there's a 5-minute time limit, and you can't die. If you die once, it fails the mission. If you can't clear it within 5 minutes, you also fail the mission. So you can't just go super tanky and just tank it out and slowly kill it. However, if you go super glass cannon and you get hit once, you're dead, you also fail the mission. So you gotta find that fine balance, or you just gotta get good. Now moving on to April 26th, we are actually getting the 24-player limited time quest, a Wetlands Interception. This is literally what I've been begging for quite some time, and it is essentially a boss rush. You go in, the boss spawns immediately, you beat up Pettis Vera. Once you kill him, next Vera comes in, which is the dragon. You gotta beat him right after. So it's a back-to-back boss fight. It's really, really cool. And on top of that, these bosses are elite versions or Megalotics versions. So there's a bunch of goodies, and there's a bunch of limited time tasks, which is tied to this content. And on top of all of this, if you haven't farmed enough of your Photon Chunks 2A as well as 2B, you can also get it from this content. So it's really, really cool. I'm going to be running this a lot because this is the content that I enjoy. I really like just boss rushing, you know, just one big boss. You go in, there's no fluff, no enemies to kill, no truck to defend. It's just bosses right there. You beat the crap out of them. Boom, another boss comes down right away and you beat that guy. It's really cool, really short and sweet, and really action-packed.
Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel, it really means a lot to me. Thank you again.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye!